Brave as Can Be, a Book of Courage by Jo Witek and illustrated by Christine Roussey. How are you today, my friends? How are you today? I hope that you're okay, my friends. Did you notice I'm in a different room? I'm in a different room. Oh, deep in my heart. Who's Jeremy? I don't know, but I bought Jeremy's shirt at one point. I'm still Mr. Greg. I want to say, I hope that you're okay today. Big finish, everybody. Oh, deep in my heart, I want to say, hope that you're okay today. Bum, bum. Hi, I'm in a different room today, and I'm in a room where there are animals and people may be coming through. I just decided to be in a different room. It's very warm outside today, and I wanted to be closer to some air conditioning. So I'm in this room. Yeah. And I have birds behind me and some photographs, and there's cat grass. That's for baby Sue. Anyway, we're going to read this beautiful book, Brave as Can Be. You all may remember we have read other Jo Witek and Christine Roussey books. We've read In My Heart, Deep in My Heart, remember? And then we've read In My Room. And I think I have All My Treasures, so we may read that someday, soon. And I don't have this book. I don't have Hello in there. Maybe someday I'll get Hello in there. And look, here's our friend. I've made a decision to name our friend. And because the illustrator of this book is Christine Roussey, I thought we could name our friend Chris. And Chris seems to have a little baby sibling. I don't know what the baby sibling's name is, but here's Chris. They are holding an umbrella to keep the rain off of their baby sibling. Isn't that so beautiful? I think so. And this is a book about being brave. Now, there are many things that actually I'm still afraid of. But certainly when I was younger, I was afraid of so many more things. And as I grew older, I became less afraid of some of the things I used to be afraid of. And this cover, along with the inside of the cover, tells us a lot about what we can expect in this book. See that? Here we see Chris. Chris, what do you suppose Chris is feeling? Yeah, Chris is looking into these menacing eyes. That means the eyes are hovering over. And I think Chris is worried. You see those eyebrows. But when we open the book, we spend some time, we learn, oh my goodness, it's kind of like a cute little smiley kitten. Now there are still things that you and I are afraid of that we should be afraid of, things that are really quite scary. And that's okay to be afraid of things. In fact, it's very human to be afraid of things. But it's also very human to be afraid of things, and then as we grow, learn that we can control our emotions, and that oftentimes scary things end up not being very scary at all. Shall we read the book? Well, let's do that. Oh, there's our friend Chris again. Hello, Chris. Right, here we go. When I was little, I was afraid of everything. Little creaks and squeaks and booming thunderclaps, teeny creepy crawlies and monstrous pointy fangs. I had a pile of fears as big as a mountain. Look at that mountain. Did you notice? The grass appears to be making a mouth, and these little patches appear to be cheeks, and we seem to have a rock nose. And what's happening with those eyes? My goodness, I would be afraid of a mountain that looked like this as well. What's going to happen to those eyes? Those eyes are on this very large creature. When I was scared, I would shiver as if I was outside in the snow. That happens when we're afraid, we shiver. And so this fear has become a large, scary snowman. Abominable snowman. I would shut my eyes tight and clap my hands over my ears. I was closed up against the cold, as if I were in an igloo. Sometimes when I'm afraid, I'll do that. I'll close my eyes and I'll pull a sheet over my head and I'll close out the world as if in an igloo. What's happening here in that? Oh my goodness. I used to be scared of the dark. Was there a monster lurking in the shadows? But now I have a bright nightlight and my super-powered pajamas. I have super-powered pajamas as well, which are 100% danger-proof. Well, look at that. Chris is now holding a balloon on which they are swinging. So that very scary mouth over here became a balloon. And I wonder what might happen with these scary-looking teeth. Let's see. Oh boy, I have to move back so you can see that whole thing. The neighbor's dog can be scary too. Mr. Greg was very afraid of dogs for much of his life. I'm not anymore. I find them much less scary. With his loud barks and thousands of teeth. Oh, see? Now she's standing on top of those teeth from before. They are standing. Holding her hand tightly, I say hello right back. Her hand being Mom's hand, see? My mom says the dog is just trying to say hello. So Chris's mom really supported them through this process with the dog. Oh my goodness, there's a lot going on in this photograph. It seems like every tall adult's feet and their boots are kind of scary monsters. Once I let go of my mom's hand and poof, she disappeared. I didn't panic. Sometimes moms get lost. Like a brave explorer, I spotted her through the crowd. Dun, 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 dun. It appears that they might be at the grocery store. I see fish and cereal. That could be very scary. Oh boy. What's happening with this? In a galaxy far, far away, and heading straight towards a fuzzy yarn monster. Quick, wake up! It was just a nightmare. My dreams scare me too sometimes. Yeah, nightmares can be very scary. The yarn monster turned out not to be a yarn monster at all. Ooh, what's happening here? Perhaps this is Halloween? Trick or treat! On Halloween, it's my turn to be scary. With a cackling laugh and a pointy hat, I scare my friends. And my friends scare me. Oh no, look. The kitten is quite afraid, and the kitten is hanging onto an umbrella that had been the mouth of the yarn monster. It's now an umbrella supporting the cat. I wonder what all of these ghostly eyes are going to be in the next page. Oh, what is this? Sometimes it's fun to be scared. I love when my dad tells me my favorite spooky stories over and over again. Mr. Greg, I really also like spooky stories. Once upon a time, when thunder booms and lightning flashes, I used to clench my teeth and hold on tightly to my blankie. Now I tell my little sister, it's just a storm. Let's sing a song and give ourselves some courage. And you notice each of these pages, the thing that appeared to be scary ends up supporting the person who is or had been afraid. And now Chris is able to understand that that scary cloud with the thunder and lightning isn't something to be afraid of when you have experience. Maybe Chris is like 6 years old now, and maybe Chris's baby's, did she say baby sister, or did they say baby sister or baby brother? Baby sister. Now she's the one who's afraid, and Chris can help. My teacher can be very strict. When she is angry, her big black eyes make her look like an owl. But that's my own special secret. Imagining her feathers makes me feel brave. So Chris is able to see their teacher's very stern eyes, and then imagine the teacher is an owl with feathers, and it's much less scary. Yeah. Oh, look at that. There's a spider hanging there and bugs down below. Beetles and butterflies, lizards and lazy ladybugs. They slither and crawl and creep. But to them I am a giant. If I'm scared of them, think how they must be scared of me. This is absolutely true. I used to be very afraid of bugs, of spiders and flies. But to imagine how large I am compared to this little spider. This spider must be so afraid of me. And Chris has gotten to the point where they realize that. I'm older now, and my mountains of fears don't look so huge. In fact, now that I'm big, it looks very small indeed. Do you remember? Do you remember this? We're going to go all the way back to the beginning. And I'm going to open it up to this page. Do you remember this mountain of fears? Yeah. Perhaps this is when Chris was 2 years old, or 3 years old, maybe 4 or 5 years old. And now that they've become 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, or like Mr. Greg, 46 or 47, that mountain of fears is much smaller and more manageable. I know that it won't destroy me and that I can, usually I will breathe, and if I need support from my daughter or my family, I'll find that support. Look, that splash page, it might be very hard to see because we're in a bright room, but it is very, very bright bugs. Brave as can be. It's very lovely being with you today and having read this book and having had a conversation about things that are scary, mostly because they're new and they're unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes I'm thinking about the dog. When I was younger, I would encounter dogs and I didn't know what they would do. In my brain, I would think maybe they're going to bite me, or maybe they're going to bark at me, and if I would hold my mom's hand, or if the person who was with the dog would say, "No, young man, this dog is very friendly." Or they would even say to me sometimes, "This dog is a little bit frightened of humans," because that's usually the case. And now I've come to the point where I'm much less afraid of dogs and cats. You've seen me with my dog and my cats here. Even things like spiders. I used to be very afraid of spiders. Afraid of the dark. Sometimes today I'm still afraid of the dark. It happens. I never know when it's going to happen. It might be turning dark on one day, and for some reason my brain tells me there's something scary in the dark. And so then I can turn on lights, or I can take a breath and tell myself there's nothing scary in the dark and walk through it. Or sometimes I don't. Sometimes I turn on the lights. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you again very soon, where we can all be very brave together, or we can all be a little bit worried together, right? It's like, I think about Elephant and Piggy and how, this book shows us how sometimes we can think a bit like Gerald or Elephant and be worried and perhaps a little afraid. And then we can also think about our piggy sides, where we can see through the things that cause us fear and anxiety and worry, to know that things are really wonderful. I love you very much, and I will speak with you soon.